Hello, this is DJ Big Game 17. We're back with another Make Game Hangout. Today I have Yusuf
Good night to everyone.
and yeah, look, wait, sorry. Close a few more tabs. All right, there you go. Huh?
I'm here.
Yeah. What the F?
Can you hear me?
All right, so all right. Anyway, we're gonna be all right. So we're gonna be discussing Dragon Ball Super first, right?
Yes, that would be cool.
All right, so we got two episodes to cover with that.
Yes.
All right, so first, episode 96. So what do you think of it?
Now, 96 was when they finally showed up to the stage of the Tournament of Power, correct? If my memory serves correct.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I think cut out for a minute. Second.
Episode 96 was when they showed up to the Tournament of Power. That was after the gods displayed their power and had to fix the ring and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was that episode. Um, I mean, it was good setup just seeing everybody there, but we still don't know everybody, sort of kind of. We know everybody, but it's on a superficial level. We don't really know what everybody's capable of. That's where we sort of started to get some idea in episode 97. Um, 96 was just, all right, we finally got all that stuff out the way and over with. We finally know who's who and what we're about to get started and what we're about to embark on. So that was fun in that regard.
Yeah. Um. All right. So episode 97. Then we'll talk about, I guess, both at the same time.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right. So episode 97.
Episode 97 was crunk. That was amazing. That was that good stuff. Um, I feel sorry for Gohan. He's trying to do the right thing, just with the wrong people. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's strange because out of the out of the people that are there, in terms of Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, 18 and 17, where would you place them
In terms of what?
in terms of uh, ability, power?
Um. Where would I place them? I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. The reason I ask is because I wonder if he was as strong as Goku, would they be more inclined to listen to him, knowing that he could physically require them to follow his instruction? I wonder
Uh.
how much that would play a role.
I don't think it would.
I personally feel it would make them at least understand that, okay, he's just as strong as us, and he sees it as important for us to work together. This must mean the competition here is very stiff, and it would be in our best interest to actually not necessarily not fight one on one, but to do so a bit smarter. Meaning, if we're going to fight somebody one on one, it better be someone that we can destroy quickly and conserve our power. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be more beneficial.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I feel as if he were as strong as Goku or Vegeta, they would actually take his word into consideration more. Because he's not talking from a position of weakness or fear. They know, no, he's just as strong as us. He's just realizing the gravity of the situation and the level of the opponents might require us to think differently for once.
All right. I guess it's time for me. I guess before I answer that, I kind of have to give my opinion on these episodes.
Sure.
First and foremost, all right, with episode 96, to be honest, I actually enjoyed that episode 96 more than I did 97.
Well, 97 was a little, it was just, the one thing that was helpful about 97 was where I finally got the answers to what would happen if somebody fell out the ring. That was my number one concern. And the reason
Yeah, everyone
why
was wondering about that.
And the reason why I was concerned about that was because does it make sense for you to die then if you everybody's gonna get erased anyway?
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out, okay, if everybody's gonna get erased regardless, it doesn't matter if you die then. I thought, but I guess the idea is, well, you kind of want to witness that if you're here as a combatant, you at least have the right to see how this unfolds and what exactly who wins, and then you get to see everyone get erased along with you. Uh, that's pretty funny. It's mean but funny.
All right, so here's my thoughts on the episode. Okay, I enjoyed 96 more because of like the some of the character interactions.
Regarding who and who.
Just some of just the characters in general, like Goku like trying to interact with like Toppo and Jiren, and well the Jiren hype in that episode, as well as
Right. And they were not having it.
like Vegeta. Like Vegeta talking like to the other Saiyans, even though he was just kind of standoffish. I know a lot of people complained about that.
I don't see why. That's him sticking true to his character. He's not really even even people that he's cool with, he's kind of standoffish with.
Yeah, actually, that's a problem. We should probably discuss later on the episode. Later on this discussion. The thing is that lately, a lot of people have been complaining that Vegeta's like kind of going backwards in his development.
Well,
I fully Yeah, I'm saying I don't know if I fully agree with that. If you consider the situation that Frieza's there, so it's probably adding a lot of tension.
so
And
you and me are in agreement because I figured that the presence of Frieza probably has Vegeta in a very irritable state.
oh, it
So
most definitely has an irritable because my Jennifer, she was actually because she's like a couple episodes behind, so she was like, well, she's okay. She skipped most of like the recruitment episodes because she just didn't care about it. But she watches what was it, episodes I think 94 and 95, and one of those two episodes, right before Frieza like makes his grand thing, his grand entrance. You have Vegeta talking to the kids, to hide, because they didn't want them to participate in the tournament. And
right.
I think at the time they still didn't know about it yet. And I think Trunks he winds up seeing a picture of Frieza and Vegeta is like trying to pretend like he's not like this bad guy. And while you see like the inner monologue in him is like it's killing him inside to do that. So it's definitely has him on edge.
Yeah, Vegeta's he's at his wits end just the fact that Frieza's there.
A lot of them are not happy about that, obviously. And this kind of I guess goes into the another issue some people have been complaining about. And this goes into I guess the Gohan thing you were talking about. And
Yeah,
this goes to it's probably going to some of my personal issues with the episode, but okay. So half of the team bounces. They just like deuces. We doing our own thing.
Right.
I have very mixed opinions on that. On one hand, it's hilarious,
Right.
but on the other hand, it's annoying. But I will say it's more annoying the fact that it's both hilarious and annoying that Goku was the first one to do this and pretty much initiated it for the other four to do it. It's funny. It's funny and annoying for the same reason. Basically, that Goku, in some ways, you could say, is kind of trolling Gohan because he made him team leader.
Right.
Yet he was the first one to basically say, "I'm not going to listen to the plan." It's almost like he's basically disrespecting him.
um.
So I guess that kind of goes into your whole whether or not I don't think Gohan's stronger than Goku right now. I don't. I don't know if he will. I'm not even sure if he ever is going to be stronger than him because it really depends on where. It depends on who the strongest person in this tournament is actually going to be. Because if it is Jiren, Gohan, there's no chance of him being stronger than Goku then. Because we already know Goku's going to fight Jiren unless they do some nonsense and have Gohan fight him instead. But that pissed off a lot of people because they've been hyping this crap up since the since they changed the opening. They've been hyping
I
this up.
mean,
So
look.
that fight kind of has to happen, even if Goku does lose.
Look. I mean, I think you don't. I don't think you bring up the. There would be no point of Gohan foreshadowing him coming to or achieving an ultimate form and then not pay that off. So yes, he might not be the
Yep.
strongest to start, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's the strongest to finish, despite what the
Oh yeah.
opening.
By the way, I'm eating. I'm saying by the way, I'm eating right now. So if you hear any
No,
chewing sounds,
I
that's what
heard
that
you.
is.
I heard you. I heard you. I heard the chomping. um, but I definitely
Some good
think
chicken though.
that you cannot bring that sort of foreshadowing into play and not pay it off with Gohan. Right? We already know he's smart. We've always known that he's smart, or at least that he's been rather scholarly. Now we're seeing that he's gained his fighting instinct back, and so if those things come together, I expect to see a Gohan that we've never seen before. And once we get that, I think it'd be much. I think basically what Gohan is the fail safe. If everything, just like how he was with the Cell series, uh, when things were its absolute worst, that's when he became his best. So I feel like when the more disorganized, the more chaotic things get, the more likely Gohan will be able to pull everything together for the team.
Yeah, but the difference though is that they were actually like slowly hyping up Gohan throughout that probably throughout most of that section of the series in general. And you had like this the latter half of the Cell Saga when they really started building up Gohan again, and so you knew that he was gonna like. But here, I think the problem is I don't want to I don't want to be quick to say that they may have wrote themselves into a corner, but it's not that it's not that they're just hyping up Gohan. They're hyping up Goku too.
I
And unless someone, like I said, unless Goku winds up losing to Jiren or there's someone above Jiren, I don't know how they're gonna execute this without one of them getting, I guess, stomped on. Unless they both tag team him.
well, notice who wasn't hyped up, Vegeta. So that kind of clears him out the way, right? Um, I think this is a family arc here. I think this is, you remember Vegeta had his arc already to a degree, with him and Trunks, and
Frieza's in this too, so he.
no, but usually,
Mm.
as much as it has been Vegeta having the longer history, anytime that we've seen Frieza, it's usually been Frieza and Goku. Um, so
No, I mean Frieza getting some type of. major focus, but I don't think he's gonna win the tournament. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get eliminated at some point.
Who, Frieza?
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, it wouldn't. That wouldn't change much. Every time we've seen Frieza, he's good, but he's never the best. So
yeah. The other thing too is that he's trying to manipulate everybody, he's trying to double cross everybody, and I think that's gonna be his downfall because he's gonna try to double cross the wrong person. It's gonna backfire on him.
I mean, all he has to do is not fall out. I have a question though, because I find this to be pretty interesting, right?
Uh-huh.
That people can't fly unless they have the natural appendages for flight. I find that strange because if you naturally learned how to develop the technique to fly, why can't you use that?
They kind of do need to explain that.
You know what I mean? Because that's what's bothering me now. The people who no one's using jetpacks. Everybody learn how to fly through some sort of teaching or natural means. So
Unless we're talking about people that have wings,
right,
but that doesn't make.
that's yeah,
But if
that's
that's the case, then wouldn't that mean that shouldn't they not like be allowed to be in the tournament then?
no. See where it made sense was that's what those people naturally are, right? So it's similar to when Naruto fought Kankuro, where it was one of those things where they explained because this is a
Wait,
type.
Naruto for Kakuro?
You don't remember that? No, wait,
I don't remember
no,
him fighting him.
no,
You mean
time.
Neji? Gara.
No, no, no. Remember Kankuro and Gara. I'm talking about the tuning exam. I
Yeah, but
can't
then
remember.
Naruto. I
I
don't
can't
remember
remember
Naruto ever fighting Kakuro. I know he wanted to fight him, but I don't remember him actually. I don't remember that actually happening.
who did Kankuro actually fight. But Naruto, I remember Naruto made the
He fought
objection of
Shino.
ah
Shino.
yeah. Naruto made the objection of him having the puppet in the ring.
No, yeah, you see, no, you see, this is like a fantasy where he was thinking of beating Kakuro and Sasuke.
No, this is actually during
It's one of those. It's one of those. I
this
don't
is
remember them ever
actually
fighting.
during the train. This is actually during the tuning exam. I don't remember who went up first, but Naruto was upset about Kankuro's puppet, about him having Crow. And so that was explained then and there. No, because this is a particular type of fighting style that is acceptable because it's like an extension of him. It's not anything different per se. It's the style that he learned naturally. I feel like this is
Didn't
applicable
they
here
kind
in
of make that
DBZ.
point with? Didn't they make that point with Naruto's fight with Kiba though?
Right. Those are natural means.
And they also made this point during the written exam.
Right. So that's the idea here. Well, I'm thinking at least with DBZ, with Dragon Ball Super. Um, if it is of natural means that you obtain this, you should be able to do it.
Actually, who did
But
Kakuro? Who else did I just need to ask you this. Who else did Kakuro fight? Because Shino was his last opponent. But who did he get? Who did he fight to
no,
get into the finals?
I don't remember in the tournament, but I know the very last person that he fought.
Oh, I remember who he fought. He fought one of Kabuto's people.
Oh, the sound, the village in the sound.
Yeah,
Was it
remember
one of
Kabuto
those?
came with like two dudes. Those guys. Kakuro fought
Okay,
one, and Sasuke fought the other one. That's who he fought.
okay,
And then the last opponent he fought in the tuning exams was that whole invasion section was Shino because they were supposed to fight and then the thing got interrupted and Shino Sasuke and Naruto went to chase after Gaara. Um Shino helped out because Kakuro was getting in Sasuke's way because Shino wanted to fight him anyway and he whooped his behind and he beat him without. Did he even take damage in that fight? Now I think about it.
I forgot. I think what it was because his bugs were sucking up the chakra threads that Conqueror was putting onto Crow, so he wasn't able to manipulate Crow anymore. I think it's
Yeah,
what
but yeah,
happened.
but yeah, but then again, I guess goes back to Shino. He was so boss he couldn't be used properly. Like
Nah,
yo,
in
he would have
some
been
way
stopping.
he was kind of OP because it's like
That's yes, he was. No, he was too OP. Actually, I realized he never lost a fight
right in many ways his
because
power is
all his
very
fights either ended with because all his fights either ended with him winning or it got interrupted. Because I think the last major fight he was in was with his father when they were fighting Conan during Pain Invasion arc. Because that's on Tanami right now.
yeah, that's what's going on now. Yeah, yeah. Shino is a little different because the
So yeah,
the
so that dude never lost a fight. So yeah, I just want to shout out Shino for a moment. Shino's my dude. He's always been one of my favorite characters in Naruto.
nah, I'm a Kiba dude. I'm not gonna lie. I've always been a fan of Kiba. I've always been a fan of Rock Lee and Mike Guy. Those are my guys.
I originally didn't like Rock Lee. He grew on me over the years.
Nah,
I like him now though.
the moment he fought Gara, I was like, nah, that's the dude. Like off top, that fight with Gara was just insane. Like the
His fight
only
with
reason
Naruto
why he
Sasuke was insane. He whooped their like that was a good introduction. Like he whooped their behinds.
he wasn't even
He
trying.
one shot Naruto and and he made him and Sasuke look like amateurs. It was hilarious.
That was just a general
That was
greeting.
beautiful.
It was just a general greeting, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, right?
Yes, it was a fight. But yes, that fight between Guard, that's first off, that's probably one of the best fights in anime and manga history. Like easily top 10.
Ah,
I would say that.
you trying to start problems tonight.
I don't care. I'm saying it. No, look,
Ah,
I heard some more outrageous stuff. I heard somebody say top three.
nah, they bugging.
I've heard some people say that.
Like first and foremost, the two fights. Okay, hold on. When you say fights in anime history, I would say it's almost the top fights in shonen anime history. I think is what we're more being more precise.
No, I'm
Um,
saying anime history. I'm being that bold right here. All right, what you got?
I was gonna say outright Netero versus Meruem. That's like gold standard. Like that's automatic gold standard. Like that's top
Yeah.
three. Period. No matter what, that's in there. Um, like you agree, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the best fight in Hunter x Hunter period. So that yeah.
All right. Frieza versus Goku is just because what it represents. The entirety of it, it wasn't really all that. If you really want to be honest, because the fight was kind of one sided once Goku went Super Saiyan, but the totality of it and what it represented, that should be a top three. And what it
Well,
set off.
it depends if you look at the entire fight, I think it's an overall good fight. But
Right, it's
I
one
think
of the
I don't
longer
think the
fights.
best part. But I do think the best part of that fight is when it's just them two on the plane. They're just going all out. No bull crap. Just
No
balls to the wall.
interruptions.
Just
It's no
just
interruptions.
them two. Like everything. But that section by that point is just perfect. Like there's nothing. So yeah, I would say that one's up there. So what else you got?
Um, I would say I can't remember his name, but it was from Rurouni Kenshin.
Uh,
Um, it
Really got some
was
good fights too. Was
yeah,
it was it the rival guy? His rival.
yes, his general rival when they first introduced him for the first time, he got him to turn into the Batosai. When they first
That fight
fought,
was beautiful. That fight was
yeah,
beautiful. That was like a work of art fight.
it was
Like
like yeah, they were. He literally was spending like if Karu didn't show up, he would have been continuing for a minute. Like that was how
don't even
good. I thought that
like
was a
that
very
fight.
good fight.
That fight gave me chills. That's how good that was.
Right. Another honorable mention for me would have to be Hajime no Ippo, which would be the Takamura versus Brian Hawk fight, that was exceptional. That was absolutely exceptional. Um, I don't know if you know what that is by any chance.
I told you before I haven't actually watched it, so
You'll it was a fight basically where, if I were to put it bluntly, one person was a brawler with a natural talent who learned how to box, face an outright genius, just a flat out natural genius, and somehow winning that fight, considering that
what
he was
did Hilamippo
participating.
win the main character? Did he win the fight or no?
It wasn't a main character. That's the funny thing. The
Oh,
main
okay.
character, but it was. How would I describe it? It's the equivalent of seeing um in man. It's a weird way of describing it. It's like seeing. It's almost like seeing old man Yamamoto go to war. Like you just know that he's the nicest character there, even though he's not the main character. You know he's the strongest, and seeing him actually get pushed to his limit and then come out on top after that, that's what it
Oh,
was.
man, Yamamoto. Yeah,
That's what it was
Man,
like.
Yamamoto. He's actually had like two good fights in Bleach. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to fight that much. The
No,
only
but see,
problem
that's
he
the
was in.
difference. That's the difference in Hajime no Ippo. The this character, he's like the gold standard. He's the reason why the main character started boxing, and he's basically undefeated. So that's why that fight was so crucial. It's his first world title match, and he was going up against a dude who was just a flat out genius. So he had to figure out
So
how to
that's
beat.
one of this dude's main. So this dude is one of Mippo's like main stepping stones that he needs to get like obstacles he needs to get past. And
No, he can't because they're in the same gym, so they're never really gonna fight each other. So he can all he can do is try to match him in terms of career accolades. Whether it's all right, he got the Japanese title, now he's gunning for the world title in his respective weight class. So the the person that he's idolizing, Takamura, he's technically a heavyweight. He's a natural heavyweight, but he had to go from like middleweight, and he's working his way up to get all six title belts from middleweight to heavyweight. Um, because he wouldn't, if he didn't do that, he would not be able to box in Japan because there's no one there for him to really fight in Japan that's his actual size. So he actually had to fight in a disadvantage going down to a lower weight class. So that's what makes him insane as is that he's starting in a lower weight class where he's already at a disadvantage, but he's still stronger than everybody else. So imagine what happens when he's actually fighting at his natural weight class.
hmm.
So the fight that he first fought was him fighting in a weight class where basically after the fifth or sixth round, he's spent because his body isn't built to fight at that weight. So he's fighting at a disadvantage every time he steps into the ring, and he wins against people who are built for the weight class, who are natural geniuses. Like it's insane what he does. It really is. So that's why I say that fight is one of the best because he went from he wasn't sure he could beat that dude to where that dude literally after he fought him, they did a flashback to when the next opponent, who was another world title weight, another world heavyweight champ, another world champion of like a different weight class, saw the dude that Takamura beat. That dude was shell shocked. He wasn't the same person. He didn't know how to react. He didn't know what he wanted, how to do anything. He was just stunned. That's that's the type of beat down that he put down at the end of that fight, where he made another man outright scared of him.
All right.
Sorry for going on that
Uh,
tangent, but that's what Ippo does. Ippo is very good. I'd highly recommend it. Even if you don't necessarily like boxing, just the storyline is so good.
Probably not gonna read it though, because I just don't have the patience for it right now.
Nah,
I
that's
can
cool.
far away to it. I mean, if I don't know, we'll see.
That's cool.
Like I don't know. I guess right now, no, because the thing is, I'm following like quite a few log series anyway, and
Yeah, this
plus
one is.
after trying to capture the One Piece, I'm just like, yo. No,
How far back are you in One Piece?
I'm caught up to it now. I'm saying when I try to catch up to it.
Are you caught up
I
to the
caught up
anime?
to it.
Are you caught up to the anime
Yeah, I
as
watched the
well?
most. Yeah, I watched the most recent episode of it.
Mm.
Um, no, because the thing is, with I didn't catch up to the series until like around the like between the end of Punk Hazard, like the beginning of Dressrosa.
Mm. I haven't. I honestly stopped following the One Piece anime. I just really strictly do the manga now.
I watch the anime sometimes. Like it depends on where they're at. Right now. I'm just waiting for the Cracker fight because they are. I think Cracker's gonna be introduced in the next episode, but the way things are looking, we're probably gonna see the fight until like another 2 or 3 episodes. They are
Yeah,
slow.
I mean that
It's
cracker fight
taking way
looks.
too long.
That cracker fight might be promising though. I
You already know I'm excited for that fight because I told you. Like I said before, best thing about Whole Cake Island so far.
so I have a question for you because Brago and his crew they always talk about it. Luffy soloing somebody, and one of my questions
That's
is
Dustin. I think that's what his name is.
no, but that's part of Brago's people. You know what I mean? That's one of the regulars. And
Yeah,
my
yeah, and
general
he's a troll and he's hilarious.
nah, he is. Yo, the last episode was insane. They was
No, I
asking him.
no. First off, shout out to Dustin.
And shout outs to
If
Brago.
you ever, yes, you
Shout
guys are
outs to Brago.
trolls. Oh yeah. By
Um,
the way, last night he did like an almost 6 hour stream. It's a
no, that's the one I was
five and a half
watching.
hour stream.
That's the one I was talking about that I was watching. It was
Oh,
it
okay.
was it was insane. Like that.
I,
How
I
they
was
let?
in the chat. I,
How come I didn't see
I was
anything?
actually in the chat, but I fell asleep too. So
Nah, that's
because I
yeah,
was asleep in
because
the
it was
middle
at
of it.
it was like 11 o'clock at night, basically. His time zone, because he's in LA. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It
so
was 11.
he was
Yeah,
like he
yeah.
was
I
up.
was asleep there at that point in time because I fell asleep around 2, wake back up until like 3. So yeah, during that whole section, I was asleep.
Yeah, so they was
And then I
going
woke up like,
in.
oh crap, I forgot I was watching this. I gotta rewatch some of that stream because I know I missed some stuff. I
Nah,
thought they were gonna talk about Kingdom Hearts.
no, they did slightly because they were shocked that Brago's never played Kingdom Hearts.
Have you?
So I remember when it
You
came
gotta get
out.
into that, man. Dude, you gotta get into that.
Look, man, I don't own a PlayStation system. I only have Nintendo products, man. So um, I'm gonna have to break bank in order to do that. Real talk.
Well, you can just watch people that stream the game.
Nah, man, I'm not into that.
I actually would like to stream myself, but like I said, I'm probably gonna wait till I get a PS4 before streaming right to YouTube
Right,
without any
exactly,
complications.
exactly.
That's how I'm holding off on the gaming.
See, like,
Matter of fact, I need to start practicing my gaming stuff so I could so I look like a
oh, you're
novice when
talking
I
about like
start streaming
you're
it.
talking about you're talking about video caption and whatnot.
Yeah, because I heard PS4 is much easier with that. So
Oh, it's probably like one of those you can stream directly from the system to YouTube or something like that.
yeah, that's what. Because I wanted to stream some Kingdom Hearts games, Final Fantasy games, and maybe some Crash and Sonic games,
Yeah,
some other stuff.
in terms of the streaming, I kind of been in the fight. I kind of follow the fighting game community, so I'm more interested in looking at stuff like like Street Fighter Five, Tekken.
Yeah, you're
Um,
probably not gonna see me stream that. Yeah,
I'm, I'm sorry.
I said you're not gonna be seeing me stream that.
Right, exactly. Doesn't mean I wouldn't watch. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely more interested in that. There's a bit more of a finality to that I can tolerate It's one of those get in, get out type situations.
Good.
You could watch a whole
I
match in
remember.
like 10 minutes and be satisfied.
I remember Aaron used to do some Smash Brothers videos.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
Oh goodness, I don't know. Oh, I did speak to him last year. Last year when I was in the hospital, I actually got a chance to speak to him.
Oh, he called you up?
I called him and I got.
All right. So
Actually, I
yeah,
was able to finally get like in touch with him.
yeah, that was
I will send you his number after the stream, I guess,
yes,
if you
sounds
want.
good. So getting back,
I did tell him to before I do that, I did tell him to keep it to actually, if he can, to try to get in contact with you and Sterling. You still have the link to his channel, right?
Aaron,
Yeah.
I have his
Um,
Facebook.
if you if you don't have his channel, my channel features his channel. It's like it's called like it's like Siren or something. It's like SIAAR. Just send you link.
Okay,
Before we go
no
back to
doubt.
the before we go back to the Dragon Ball Super stuff, there is one other thing I gotta ask you about. This is
Sure.
still pertaining to the fights. I guess we could go more into this when we get into One Piece, but all right, Luffy versus Rob Lucy. Where would you stack that fight? I have to ask this. If we're talking about like some of the greatest
Yes.
fights in the anime manga,
All
where would
right.
you stack that fight?
Uh, hmm.
You know, because a lot of people consider that the best fight in One Piece. So
Yeah. Yeah. See, the problem for me was with that fight. See, the
what too
difference
many
between
interruptions?
yeah, that's why the Netero Meruem fight was so great was because you got a solid 5 to 6 minutes of action at a time, with no interruptions. Um, so you could appreciate the fight more. Uh, there were so many things going on around that fight. I would only be giving that fight credit for its conclusion, where Luffy just kicked the crap out of Lucci. Um, I don't know. I don't even, that's a tough question. I would have to rewatch that. Honestly, I'd have to rewatch that to give you an
Just
answer.
rewatch it on YouTube because a lot of people have like just like fight videos of
Yes.
those series and stuff.
Yes.
Usually cut out the filler stuff,
Yeah,
just the fight
exactly.
scenes.
I'd have to
So
rewatch. Honestly, I have to rewatch that. I wouldn't be able to give you a straight answer.
I'm gonna say like top 20.
Um, Now, what is another good
Maybe
fight in
top
One
15.
Piece? What is
I
another?
actually I'd throw at least three. I know you're not big on the Sanji versus whatever his name is, but I actually thought Zoro versus Kaku was a good fight.
Yeah, Zoro fights are decent. I thought Zoro's fight on Thriller Bark was good. I thought his fight.
No, yeah, that was a good
I thought
fight.
that was
Like I
very
think
good.
Zoro's best fights that I've seen so far is probably his fight with Ryuma and Mr. One.
Yeah, Ryuma was good. Mr. One, I don't. So that's the blind spot for me with One Piece. I did not see all of Alabasta, and I'm starting to collect the manga, and so I'm passing over that and reading.
Really?
Yeah, I covered Alabasta up to where um they get to Alabasta, they meet King Nefertiti, um and then there's a little blind spot where they start the actual war gets started off. I recall seeing parts of Luffy's fight with Crocodile. I didn't see all in its entirety. So that's a blind spot for me. I actually have to go back and
Yeah, that fight was alright.
once I get the manga, I'll be able to read that and appreciate that, or watch it and appreciate that. I thought in terms of one of the best, one of the toughest opponents for Luffy. I thought Enel was the best there was in terms of he was overwhelming, just flat out overwhelming. Like there was no answers for dealing with that dude. Right? Just
Except Luffy, he was the answer. What are you talking about?
no, but that's my point. That was one of those situations where it was just fortuitous that
hmm. Yeah.
ah,
So
got you.
anyway,
Sorry, Adam just contacted me.
okay. All right, you gonna join now?
Nah, he said he's helping folks at dark, getting good at Dark Souls, so he wouldn't be the slightest bit vocal.
Oh, okay. I remember. Oh yeah, I
Um,
remember he plays that Dark Souls. Yeah, I know a lot of people rage quit that game. It's hilarious. You know something interesting I heard about Dark Souls.
I'm not familiar with the franchise too
I
well.
heard
I'll
that
be
the
honest with
series. I'm not that familiar with it either, but just one thing I did hear is that apparently Dark Souls took some influence from the Berserk. You ever heard of it?
you. Influence from what?
You ever heard of Berserk?
Mm, yes, I did. Carrie talked to me about that. I'm still haven't gotten touch onto that. I haven't gotten in touch with that yet.
I know Kill I Ubikari considered one of the greatest anime manga series of all time.
Yeah, I heard it's very good. And however, the manga,
I love it. Yeah.
the manga could
Well, he's another one that goes on a lot of hiatus too.
right because to draw what he draws and to touch on the subjects that he touches on, from what I've understood, that's it's just physically taxing and mentally taxing.
Yeah, I
So
also heard he sometimes gets depressed over it.
yeah, I mean, he's drawing a lot of carnage, but it's kind of tough on you.
Yes, especially some infamous stuff that happens in the series that even if you haven't like read or watched, you probably know about it. But yeah, that's why I heard that Dark Souls has some influence from Berserk. I can actually see it though.
Mm. So yeah,
At least
we
from what I've seen.
so go
I know
get
we completely deviated from what we
no,
talking
but
about.
I wanted to finish addressing that though because so okay, what have we established? We established that we got Frieza, Goku, we got Meruem and Netero. So what's the third? What's the third?
Third what?
That's
Oh, the
fights.
fight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mm. Oh yeah, mind me when we get next time we have like a stream with more people to revisit this question because I like to hear everybody's thoughts. Like you could just have like a personal top 10 of what you consider the best fights,
I
but
don't even know if my list goes that deep.
or top five. This whatever you
Yeah.
would consider. It don't even have to be like a top 10. All right, let's see
Yeah.
another
Top
fight.
five.
Oh my
Top
goodness.
five. Yeah, I'd say top five. All right, I could do a top five.
Let's see. Let's see. What's another fight? Um. Hmm. Oh yeah. What about this is for One Punch Man. What about Saitama versus what's his face? Boros.
Nah. Okay. Animation wise, that fight was ridiculous. But in terms of the actual fight, the winner was already decided. We knew who the winner was before the fight started, or at least I knew. I was confident in that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even if you do know what the fight, it doesn't like
It doesn't take away from the beauty of the
devolve.
fight. I get that. What I'm saying is,
It's still the fight though.
it yeah, the fight was just look anything that One Punch Man like that's just it's beautiful, so it's always gonna look good. Um, like for instance, General's fights against like that bug lady to start the series was ridiculous. That was fantastic. Speed of Sonic Sound versus the Sea King, that was ridiculous. But
I actually thought that was a good fight, even though he had no chance of winning.
right, that's what I'm saying. But just the animation alone is so next level that even a basic fight looks great.
Yeah, but isn't it animated by Madhouse though?
Yeah, Madhouse is the one that makes Hunter x Hunter, which is why um, the Meryl versus Netero fight looks so amazing.
Oh yeah, by the way, I think Madhouse also did Trigon.
Not sure about that one. I know they did Hell. I know they're responsible for Helsing.
Ah, see, this is actually why everyone wants every series to be animated by Madhouse, because you have a lot of people say they want Super and One Piece and even Torko when that was going on. They would say they wanted to be that animated by Madhouse, and you want to know why? Because Madhouse is consistent. That's why.
Right. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter looks amazing. Absolutely amazing by
And
Madhouse.
and some people try to kind of downplay and say, oh, but they only do like seasonals, and I just say Hunter x Hunter. That was not a seasonal.
Nah,
So
look.
there's no excuse for
Ooh,
these other companies, man.
ooh. Okay, then we also from Hunter x Hunter, we also have to take in Kurapika versus Uvokin. That's another
I was about
great
to,
fight.
yeah.
That's another great fight.
Oh yeah, since you was bringing up, I guess we could talk about this now because this could also pertain to both Super and One Piece,
Sure,
or actually all three series. Actually, all three series we're talking about in the stream.
sure.
Marco's been talking about this too. I'm not sure if you caught this, but like him and Dustin, all of them, they were talking about like going back to, that One Piece needs like better fights and these fights like from top tiers and stuff. And one of the fights he brought up was like Karaka versus Vogan. It's like how that fight was, that was such a good fight. And he said One Piece needs more fights like that.
Well, there's how many fights, how many things in One Piece are personal vendettas? You see, that's what made that fight so good. It was because you knew Kurapika had beef. Like he was not leaving until he finished. Either he was dead or Uvo was dead. Like that's where that
But you know
was.
what's funny though? But you know what's funny though? You say how complain about how some of like a lot of the fights One Punch Man kind of one sided. That
Yes.
fight was kind of one sided because it's like as soon as Karaka started like spamming the chains, it's like, all right, he's fight. That was kind of a one sided fight, but it was still good though.
Well,
Like you would have really good one sided fights though.
no, but the difference is it didn't start out that way. It looked to be relatively alright. It's like a feeling out period, right? But it
Yeah, but
morphed
then he
into
brought
that.
them healing chains out though.
Right. It morphed into
I'm just
that.
saying. I'm just saying. Once he brought them healing chains out, it's like, all right, it's over.
Right. And the reason why is because we didn't know that Kurapika was that strong, right? And that's partially by design because he's only that strong against the Phantom Troop, as we've seen in the new
Actually,
chapters.
do you think the personal? But let me ask you this though: do you think the personal vendetta too?
Can you say it again?
I said, do you think the personal vendetta against like the fan show up that fight too?
No, that's particularly why his Nen was so powerful.
No, I mean like like I guess like the hypeness of the fight.
No, yeah. Absolutely. All the circumstances surrounding that it was so personal, that really made the fight. So, and what made it even funnier was that Uvo completely had no real recollection of slaughtering Kurapika's family until after Kurapika finished waxing his behind. So that's what made it even funnier. It was after he was chained up and about to get washed that he said, "Oh crap! I remember you guys. Y'all were nice."
Yeah.
um, no, but getting back to the point that was raised originally in terms of the fights. Well, I want your opinion because in One Piece, how important are the fights? Because One Piece feels like one of those where the one-on-one fights are cool, but they're not necessarily essential to move the story.
Hmm. I guess it depends on where you look at it.
Like they treat it like it's a real pirate story where yo, you're just scrapping whoever gets who, that's whatever. If you
I
got
don't think that's
God, you
really
got God.
got.
Yeah, whoever got God got God.
All right. In terms of what?
It's like Whitebeard during Marineford. He was busy trying to take care of a whole bunch of different things, and folks was swinging at him. And he just had to come. He had to make deal. He had to deal with whoever came up at him. Like there was no trying to figure out. No, I'm gonna fight this one person, and this one-on-one fight with me and this person is gonna decide everything. No, it's whoever first come first serve. Whitebeard was game. That's the type of stuff that I appreciate. It's because you're pirates. Like there is no real order. There's no real code. This ain't Pirates of the Caribbean. Like nah, y'all say y'all pirates. You gotta be able to deal with odd circumstances. Go handle business. So like how we're at um
You
Whole
say the
Cake
same about
Island,
Naruto
right?
though.
I'm sorry.
Can't you say the same about Naruto though? Since they're ninjas and they
Ninjas, that whole thing's about building disadvantages for your opponents. All about building disadvantages. Which is why Naruto is so strange because he's so direct. Like he literally spits in the face of the stereotype of the ninja. Like he can't be discreet just by his very appearance.
Naruto was fun. Naruto as a series is kind of funny if you think about it. It's just you have protagonists in Naruto in a non-shonen world almost kind of.
Say it one more
Like
time.
I said, you have a shonen protagonist in Naruto in a non-shonen s series story world kind of.
Explain.
At least the way it's. No, I mean like in the sense that no, what you were saying about how like the ninja thing,
Yes.
but then you have Naruto. He's like again very direct. He's very flashy.
Right. Not by his choosing. He's just his appearance just makes him stand out, and for unfortunately for all the wrong reasons.
But I have to. I don't even know where I was going with this. But
Yeah,
but
but
anyway,
getting
back to like the One Piece,
yeah.
the One Piece thing though.
So
The
with
fight.
yeah with that, like with Whole Cake Island now, yo, there's no real code. Like Luffy and his crew tried to sneak in. Now y'all about to get waxed. That's kind of how it's supposed to go down. I mean, you lost your advantage of surprise, and now you have to deal head up. And you can't say it's unfair. Y'all are pirates. Y'all do unfair stuff. That's what you do. So
Yeah,
whatever
but
happens, happens here.
I was saying before about the shonen thing with the whole like code of honor, whatever.
Right,
Because Luffy kind of has that too.
right,
Because he again because he likes just guess you could say it's a pride thing too. He likes fighting one on one. He doesn't really like getting help in fights.
right. Luffy's an oddity when it comes to pirates, from what we've seen. But that's the point. It's supposed to help us understand that he's different than everybody else. So we get that.
But as far as like um the fight necessary, maybe because it is at least in actually taking the dudes out. I guess from that standpoint, I know it's more of a basic one, but like it's still do put down though, especially since they do stand in his way in some way, shape, or form.
I'm sorry you were breaking up when you were saying that part. Could you repeat it?
I was saying that the guys that he fights and his crew,
Yeah,
the crews that they go up against,
right,
there is a necessity in terms of fighting them because they do need to still get put down because they do stand in their way in some way, shape, or form. I guess just not on a personal level most of the time.
right. It's not
And
necessarily a
again,
want.
but then again, you have to look at the circumstances, like the circumstances, like Kurapika or Sasuke or characters like that where they have
They
like a
have a
personal
personal
vendetta
vendetta.
against
Yeah, they have a personal vendetta.
they don't really have that. I guess maybe Blackbeard.
I
Like
think
they're
the
not
only,
like they're really probably going to be the only characters that's going to be like the closest that you're going to get to a vendetta.
I think the
Really.
only two times Luffy had a true personal vendetta was with Nami and Robin, which is interesting. The two female
Uh,
members of his crew, those are the only two real personal vendettas that he had.
okay, here's the thing though. Those were his crewmates. They got captured, and he had to save them. Those like rescue arc stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like
That
Bleach had
was
that too. Where like I understand what you're saying because Bleach had this problem too with like the lack of like with Ichigo fighting whoever he's fighting. Again, it really only came to when people got captured in the case of like Rukia and Orihime, and he had to go up against them. The people that that's when he had to personal vendetta. That's
Oh, speaking of fights. Speaking of fights, I would actually request that you take a look at Fairy Tail Blue Note versus Gildarts when it first started. How amazing that was! Like if that's one of the fights that makes you appreciate Fairy Tail when it initially started. Gildarts. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up after I'm done. Gildarts versus Blue Note and how awesome that looked. Low key, another good series with action was Tag to Kill Hitman Reborn. That had some good fight scenes as well, where you had some of the Archipelago going up against each other. That was dope. That was dope. Diamond Spade versus Mammon. That was dope. Um, Lambo versus one of Xanxus's generals. That was dope. This would be 25-year-old Lambo. So after he used the 10-year aging gun 2 times, and we got the adult Lambo, where he sounded like basically like a Barry White, and his electrocution was so serious. Like that was great. That was really great. That was another good fight. It was short as hell, but it was sweet. Um, I would definitely also um, what's another good series to recommend um, for fights. Well, I don't recall much from Zoids, but it's neither here nor there at this point. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for now, because I can't recall too many things to mind right now. But yeah, I would say those are pretty good.
mm,
But definitely, Blue Note versus Gildarts is a very that's a very good fight in my mind. And also Mystogan versus Laxus, even though it was short, just the way that thing was set off, where they basically did a Naruto versus Sasuke, where the first like a minute and a half of the fight was like just a fight within the mind. It was just insane. That was brilliant too. I thought that was very well done.
so I don't know. Some of my favorite fights usually tend to be fights that people don't talk about that much.
Like
Like in Naruto, like Choji and Deji's fights in the Sasuke retrieval arc.
Choji's fight, yeah, Choji was nice. Choji is nice. Choji's nice. I like Choji. Choji was nice. Uh, uh who else had a good fight? Well, we know the
Deji,
Rock Lee versus Kimimaru fight. Like we all know that was just insane. Um,
I wish he won though.
yeah, I mean, when he once he became the Shuken user, like I couldn't disagree. I was not going to root for him. You know what I mean? Once he became the drunken master Rock Lee, I was like, oh, I'm totally down for this. He better win now. I thought Gara versus what's his name? He was part of the Akatsuki when Gara first.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought that was a good fight.
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
Well, we sort of
No, I
knew,
thought that fight kind of dragged on. I
and
thought that
also,
fight kind of dragged on too long.
and we also know that Gara was fighting at a disadvantage again because he had to protect the village. If he didn't, he probably could have beaten Deidara.
Yeah.
For sure, he could have beaten him.
No, that first off, that was David's last resort because he was actually not beating him. He kept hitting him go down. I think
Yeah,
David was actually about to lose the fight, and he used that as the last resort.
yeah, it's
Because
tough
he was
to.
getting tired, if you notice. David, I think they were about
Yo, I noticed that anytime anybody fights Gara, like they always have to pull out their absolute ace in the hole. Like it's never just, oh, I was using like 50% and I waxed him.
Do you know how hacked that sand power is? How OP it is?
You have to like he doesn't put in work though. You have to like Gara doesn't actually have to put in work.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying that thing is powerful. It's a powerful ability, and he's great
Yeah,
at using it.
exactly. Like we don't. That's like getting upset with Luffy for being a devil fruit user. Like yo, it's just what he is at this point.
Well, if that was the case, then you could say, well, I wouldn't knock him for that because you have characters that do have some, crazy powers, but don't use them well, like Buggy and Foxy.
Nah, I think Buggy's learning how to use his better now. I think Foxy's his
What?
his ability would be more useful if he was better overall as a fighter.
That's what I'm saying. Like he has a good ability, but he doesn't use it right
True.
because he's not a good fighter. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Like
And
for
that's what a lot of
implement.
people said about Luffy's power. Like Luffy's power isn't that great, but it's his usage that's so great because he utilizes it to his full potential. Fighter.
One of the things though that makes his power interesting is that he's rubber, but there's supposed to be a limit to how far rubber can stretch before it bursts. So I'm curious as to what his actual limit is.
I don't want to get into that because Brago got into like this he got into this debate that Kia Lightning and Uber Car got into a few years ago about Kizaru's like life fruit and all that bullcrap.
Yeah, because what? Let's yeah, because rubber is supposed to be able to deal with lightning to a degree, or can conduct electricity, but Kizaru's raw energy, so that's a little different.
No, because they were talking like how fast is he and
Well, isn't he as
all
fast
that
as the speed
bullshit.
of light, which is 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second squared? Or is it meters per
We
second?
don't really know.
Whatever. I think it's three
We don't
times
know because
10
he
to
never
the 8
usually.
meters per second.
Honestly, with Kizaru's food, he really should be like top five strongest characters.
Okay, so maybe we could get into this. What are the characters in One Piece rankings? Like, is it the admirals and then maybe like a Yonko? Like, from what you've seen, because I would argue that it might go in the order of Akainu, um, Aokiji, Kizaru, Garp, and then like some other character from the outside in terms of who you've actually seen in combat. Like you have to put it in that order.
All right, I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna okay. Before I go in front, I'm just gonna pull like this. I do think as far as like I think Yonkos are stronger than Admirals.
You think they're stronger than
That I do.
admirals?
Yes, I do.
On what grounds?
However, just overall. But however, I do think this is how I see it. I see the fleet admirals like equal to a Yonko, and the like top commanders like equal to admirals. That's how I see it. I know it's kind of weird because
Yeah,
I guess
repeat
the way
that.
the admirals are being built up.
Repeat that and say that slowly. I want to be able to process that.
I'm saying that I did. The fleet admiral is equal to a Yonko, and the top commanders are equal to an admiral
Are you talking about the commander of the Marines in general?
of the Yonkos are equal to an admiral, and the fleet admiral is equal to like a Yonko. That's how I see it.
Are you talking about the vice admirals?
No, not the vice admirals.
Cause, okay, because
Admirals.
he's all right. So you said the fleet admiral. When you say fleet admiral, are we talking about Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru?
Yes.
And you're saying they're equal to Yonkos?
No, just Akainu because he is the current fleet admiral.
Oh,
Maybe
that's what
Aokiji
I
because he did fight him.
that's what I meant. He's the fleet admiral, and then the admirals beneath, which would be the three, which would be Kizaru, Fujitora, and Green Bull.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so you're
saying
saying gotcha, understood. So the fleet admiral, which is Akainu, which is comparable to a Yonko, and then the commanders are comparable to the three admirals. I disagree.
all right.
I disagree.
Why?
Uh, because we have not had Whitebeard is a very, very different exception. He's in his old age, right? So we have not seen a relatively healthy prime Yonko go up against an admiral. So if we're basing what Akainu did to Whitebeard when Whitebeard was basically hanging on, this is the equivalent to what took place when you saw that post that I had about the boxing match. So what happened in that match was that they had this young dude who was like in his physical prime going up against a legend who was kind of in the tail end of his career. And what basically happened was is folks, because of the aggressiveness and um, the overall appearance of the younger guy being more busy, uh, he won the fight. Though it was clear that everyone who was there, including the actual people who were boxers or who trained boxers, that the vet actually did a better job. But it's because he was getting pushed around. It looked like he was getting pushed and he wasn't able to hold his balance because the guy was bigger than him. It looked like he really lost the fight. But in fact, if you check the stats, he was actually getting more hits in. He was doing more damage. He was cleaner. That's how Whitebeard felt to me when he's going up against the Admirals, where you're saying to yourself, yo, look at what he's doing. He's going up against those dudes at that age, and he's actually holding his own. They're supposed to be dusting him, and they're not. So I disagree with the idea that the Admirals are like outright stronger or comparable to the Yonko because they're tying and they're trying to hold their own against a frail Yonko, not even a healthy one.
I was just talking about just the fleet admiral, not the other admirals.
Well, that's what I mean because Akainu was the fleet admiral. We saw him go up against the Yonko.
Okay, I gotta ask this because do you? Well, it depends. Do you? How? Like, what difference do you see in like I guess from a power level standpoint between a regular admiral and a fleet admiral?
From what you saw with Sengoku and Garp, the admiral title doesn't really mean anything. Once you get to that point, to me, it's no real difference. It really isn't. Once you have the title admiral, there's no real difference in terms of okay, you could. The reason why I say this is because Garp was a vice admiral. You can't tell me he's not admiral level, fleet admiral
Yeah,
level,
but yeah,
right?
but that's what I'm saying though. But that's what I'm saying. Like just generally, I'm talking about someone who is capable of being a fleet admiral like Garp. At having that position, like, wouldn't you say that they would be above a regular admiral?
No, because from what we've seen, at least from what happened with Aokiji and Akainu, it's it depends upon that person's vision. Like Akainu might actually make a better fleet admiral, but that's only because he's more aggressive and assertive, and that fits what the Mary Joa wants. Um, he might not necessarily have all the tools that makes him a great fleet admiral, but he has the one thing that they want, which is aggression, someone who seeks order. So there's a lot more to becoming a fleet admiral than just your sheer strength. It helps that he happens to be apparently the strongest of the three admirals. But if he didn't have those other qualities, it wouldn't make as much of a difference.
But here's the thing: there's a time skip.
Right. The time skip is what. No, remember the fight happened 2 years ago. It happened during the 2 years. It didn't happen after the 2 years. You see what I'm saying?
He
So
got stronger.
no, he was already apparently the strongest from what we saw before the time skip. He was already the strongest from what we can tell. So it's not like anything changed. The status quo remained the same. It's just that the fight solidified it. That's it. That's all that happened, at least from my end, my perspective.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
So you don't think Akainu could take a Yonko right now?
I didn't say that he couldn't. I'm saying to say that the Yonko and the admirals would just be a general like push and shove. I disagree because of the fact that the Yonko that Akainu did get might have been the weakest one, and that was only because he's sick and old.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to properly gauge him. I really don't. Now,
I think
with
the
the
other problem is that we haven't seen what he could do after the time skip because he's just been sitting behind.
that doesn't mean
Because he's
anything.
been
Because Sengoku was sitting on his behind for a minute, and then when he had to go to work, we saw he's pretty capable. So,
yeah, but a lot of people downplay Sengoku though.
I mean, his job was just to, if you think about it, he wasn't really looking to kill. He was just trying to stop you from taking Ace. That was it. So he's different from Akainu.
Yeah, but
This
some
is what
people
I
also
mean.
say like with Blackbeard, like when he hit him and he just tanked it.
Again,
I don't know if I fully agree with that, but that's
what I'm saying is with Sengoku, his mindset. The only difference between Akainu, Aokiji, Sengoku, and Garb is his mindset. That's the only difference in terms of the four of them. It's just his mindset. It's not like he's leaps and bounds better than them. His mindset might give him some sort of edge, this unwillingness to yield or to um, curtail his aggression. So he might complete a task, whereas Sengoku might say, "Okay, we kept them from getting in. That's good enough for me." Akainu might say, "Nah, I'm eradicating everybody," and we'll just say that, "Oh, he's definitely OP. He's stronger." Doesn't mean that Sengoku couldn't do the same thing. Sengoku's just not willing to go there. Does that mean Akainu's just stronger? Not necessarily. It just means that he's more committed.
I guess it kind of goes back to what Braga was saying about not seeing the top tiers fight yet. I
And
mean, like go all out.
I'm very wary of the. I can't wait to see the top tiers fight. First off, if we've
Oh, and the
seen,
fact that they keep getting off screen whenever they do fight. That
yeah.
too.
First off, just chill out. Sometimes we just gotta let the story play out. But right now,
I know, yeah.
We want to get one answer, and one answer only. Where do we stack Big Mom? Because we're going to find out in these next couple chapters what she's really about.
I want to know what our bounty is.
That's a good question. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the billions. It's like 5 billion.
It has to be. It has to be in the billions somewhere because
If her children are billion belly bounties, she has to be at least 2 to 3 times theirs.
we've been introduced so far to two characters that have billion bounties that are not Yonkos, but they are They are part of the
They're
being
part of
Jack
Yonko
from Kaido.
Cruz. They're part of
Yeah,
Yonko
Jack of
Cruz.
the Three Calamities, and Carter Gary, who's the top of Big Mom's crew, the Sweet Commanders.
Right.
So if we're basing it on that, she has to be like at least 5 million. I say, yeah, I would agree with that.
Right.
Like at least 5 million.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I agree with that. Spot on.
There actually might be a hint that I think like back in the flashback they was showing like her bounty increase and it was like 500,000. I think the last one they showed. So I think they might. I think Ola might be teasing what her bounty actually might be.
Yeah. I wonder also then, and this might be one of the last things I have to touch on because I actually do have to run. Um, how do we deal with the bounty? Because from what we've seen for certain characters, for instance, like Doflamingo, his bounty really doesn't reflect what he actually was. He was phenomenal, right? Because his bounty was frozen. So how do we deal with certain characters like that when their bounty gets frozen or their bounty really doesn't reflect just exactly how dangerous they are? Because I mean, Cracker's $1 billion, right? But I still felt like it didn't reflect just how difficult a character he was.
No, it was 800,000.
So who's which one had the $1 billion bounty? Was it Katakuri?
It was Kalagiri. Yeah,
Ah,
like I said, there's only two characters that have billions so far. That's Kalagiri and Jack. Everyone else
and
was just in the above like
Smoothie's like
500,000,
900,
500
right?
million.
Smoothie's like
Yeah,
900.
yeah.
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
930.
And we as we've seen, Katakuri is starting to prove why he's a billion belly.
Yeah. Actually, if I recall, he has the highest ability that's been bounty that's been.
No,
But
okay. So here's the funny part now. What exactly is Dragon's bounty then? 'Cause that must look ridiculous.
you think it's possible that these bounties are gonna go up to trillions?
That'd be insane if his bounty's $1 trillion, man. That would be outright insane. But if his bounty really is that high, do you even want to? Would you even be able to turn him in? Because the government's not paying that. I don't see the government paying that. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm. Well, it also depends on what you plan to do with them. Well, I'm pretty sure he would just want to execute them, unless he wanted to
It would
stage
take him.
another Marine Force situation.
No, they would just take him to Logtown, right?
Unless, unless he want to stage another Marine Force thing and try to make an
No, I think they
example.
learned their lesson. I think they learned their lesson. I hope they learned their lesson.
But I think it's kind of crazy that they could capture him because that also goes back to how strong you think he is. Because there's some people that believe he's the strongest character in the series right now.
Well, it would make sense, but I think he might be the smartest. I wouldn't necessarily say the strongest. He might be the smartest and the best organizer.
He still has to be a top tier character though.
No, for sure. How I look at Dragon is how I look at Ward Sequin from Fairy Tale, where he's one of the four gods of Ishgar, but it's not necessary because he's just overwhelmingly powerful. He is powerful. You have to respect his power, but it's the combination of his intelligence and his knowledge and his power.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. You can have all the power in the world and you can be an idiot.
Nah, come on. You've seen Dragon. If you think about how it was a fluke that we even knew where Baltigo was. For years, the government was trying to find his spot, and they could not. That takes a certain
No,
level
I'm
of
not saying No, I wasn't saying dragons are idiot. I'm just saying in general, like you could follow those power, but if you're an idiot, that's not gonna mean much.
right. So what I'm
Because
saying,
if you get outsmarted,
right, which is why I personally like my favorite characters happen to be those who have considerable strength and intelligence. It's why I like Bartholomew Kuma. It's why I like Captain Kuro. It's why I like Gardenell. It's why I like Trafalgar Law. Characters that have,
yeah, Lord,
yeah, Law has considerable strength,
most like
which is only matched by his intelligence, or even exceeded by his intelligence.
Oh yeah, by the way, has the Rouge and Bonnie's bounties been shown post Hobbs?
Don't recall. Honestly, don't recall.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, by the way, what did you think of this week's One Piece chapter?
Um, that was tough. Just seeing that was touching, in terms of Sanji uh, reminding his dad of what he wanted to happen, and him harkening back to his days on Baratier and being under the man he really believes to be his father. Um,
I'm,
that was tough.
I'm,
That was moving.
I'm glad they're giving some resolution to that.
Right. But however, I think what might happen is that his actual father might actually become a father for the first time in his life to him, and he might not know how to process that.
I appreciate. Yeah, I think he got a wake up call with that whole Big Mom situation.
Now he's about to. I don't know if it's been through. He hasn't realized that yet. What I mean, he's actually going to have a true, genuine connection to his family, but they won't be able to build upon it any further. I think they're going to be done by the end of this series, by the end of the arc. I think they're going to be through by the end of the arc. They just won't be around.
I don't think so. I think they're going to become part of Grand Fleet, to be honest. No, because the way things are looking is that you know how Whitebeard has his commanders and whatever, and Blackbeard has his main crew. They're like commanders now. I
Yeah.
can kind of see that happening for like the Straw Hats, or they kind of each lead their own little thing.
Not all right. So all right, we'll finish with this. I agree
We
with
still
you
gotta
on.
finish Dragon Ball Super first, but yeah.
Well, I'm running out of time. I remember I told you I was only able to stay till about 12:30 ish. So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm not.
Okay, a few more minutes and we'll conclude this. So let's just start wrapping up the all that stuff. All
Yeah.
right, so let's start wrapping up One Piece first, and
Okay, I'll do that quickly. Yeah, I think that's something that's gonna happen. I think each of the main Straw Hats are gonna end up leading their own little crew underneath. Um.
yeah,
All right, so that's that. Super
I
now.
think but yeah, I think that's gonna be amazing if that happens. So
Yeah. Usopp's
oh
really
yeah,
gonna finally lead those thousands of people that he said he would.
yes, that is why I'm actually looking forward to Elbaf because I think that's gonna be a great arc for him.
Hmm. All right. So what's next? Real quick.
Oh yeah, the super stuff, and then we'll end it with Hunter x Hunter, whatever we can muster up with that. But the Dragon Ball thing, I what was I talking about before with that? Oh yeah, you were talking about whether or not how would you rank the like I said, I think Gohan. Like I said, I don't think Gohan's as strong as Goku. I don't know if he is gonna be stronger than him. But the problems I have with the episode 97, like I said, the team splitting up and them kind of disrespecting Gohan, whatever. But the one that really bothered me the most, because Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza, it was expected, although it was somewhat unexpected that Goku was the first one to do it. But 18 was kind of just like what?
Nah, she kind of that's been her MO for the longest. She does what she wants.
Yeah, I understand that there's some type of tension between her and her brother for some reason. I don't know why, but it was weird. But yeah, some other issues I did have. I don't like the fact that they start the episode with more explaining of the thing because it just felt like padding. I thought the pacing was kind of off, honestly, and this is more of just an issue I had with the arc overall. I don't necessarily feel like they built up the other teams that well. because a lot of these dudes just feel like fodder dudes. If you know what I mean, like it's just a bunch of characters we really don't know because the only teams they really built up like that really was like 6, 11, and maybe 9, and the other ones are just kind of there. They have like very minimal build up.
No, yeah, it's specialized right now. We sort of know who the heavy hitters are. It's just
Yeah,
6, 7, and 11. Everything
yeah,
else kind of they're
yeah.
not
But
really
I think the
important.
other problem having is I guess how long this is gonna take to get to those guys because only 1 minute passed in this whole episode, and the way things are looking, I don't want this to be another 5 minutes on Namek thing, where it just takes like 48 episodes just to get to the last. Like I don't want to see that. That's I
That
know
yo,
Frieza. I know Frieza's there. That's kind of like a running joke, but please don't do that. I can't.
yo, that was the funniest thing when it happened. Where you talk about Frieza's like this planet only has 5 more minutes. An hour and a half later, it's like it's maybe 2 minutes left. You're like, what? That was insane.
Oh my god, but that was really horrible pacing.
Yeah, that was
The only way that
terrible.
would make sense is if they were doing all of that in like seconds. That
It
was
was
you know what's really
terrible.
hilarious when you know what's really hilarious when you think about it because that means they would have to have been talking in like light speed.
Word.
Think about like fast forward to something that would sound hilarious.
Like their fight, yo, they said they had 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes turned into like an extra hour.
It would have been more. It would have been better if they said 5 hours instead of 5 minutes. I know it was supposed to make the whole thing seem more dramatic, but oh my goodness, I don't think Toriyama scaled that on how long that fight was gonna last.
Nah,
Well,
if he said that was if he said after he freeze destroyed the core that you had 30 minutes left, he would have been good. Like that's a fight that's going down.
yeah, I don't think Toriyama realized how long he was gonna have that fight be. I
Right.
could just tell that he did not know because he did say he does make up stuff as he goes, and you can tell by that point he was like, "Ooh." Actually, I actually do hear that he kind of trolls in his interviews because he actually fully acknowledges when he just f's up, like, "Oh, I forgot this. Oh yeah, that was inconsistent. Oh yeah, I just made that up afterwards." I do give Toriyama some credit for that because he doesn't he doesn't pretend like
That was
like
part of the story.
no, he will fully admit like I just did that just because. Sorry. In fact, I
Oh,
heard one of the reasons they was Goku was Super Saiyan in the first place because he didn't want to draw the his hair like black anymore. It's hilarious. That's what I'm talking about. It's hilarious. And
he's
it's
so frank.
it's the reason why it's also the reason why you don't see the Saiyans don't use tails anymore because you don't want to draw them anymore. Like that type of makes me laugh. That's just one of those that's just one of the charms of Dragon Ball. It's just hilarious. You just gotta take it face value. But yeah, I so yeah, those are like some of the issues that I have with the episode. But I am looking forward to the next one. It is looking good. I one other thing though, why didn't the 5-man attack thing that Gohan and the rest of them did not do anything to those guys they fought? And why did Krillin use a Destructo Disc? That was off. That was kind of odd considering that's a kill move.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Same thing with the special beam cannon. That's a kill move because if those things had actually landed properly, they would have been disqualified.
True.
I think that's a bit weird that they did that. Oh yeah, some people also bring up the fact that Gohan didn't use like a special move like everyone else was doing. He just
Man,
did
leave
some regular
Gohan
energy.
alone. Leave him alone.
Look, Gohan's my favorite character, so I'm just like, yo,
Leave him alone.
no, because I will say this though. I do think Toei was roasting Gohan that episode though. They just took a dump on his face, like
The-
yo, just let the kid have his moment.
right, they didn't give him no breaks. None.
I did think it was funny though when Goku was trying to go after Toppo and Jiren, and people kept getting in his way.
Nah, but see, that's the problem. Goku is so he focuses in on one thing and forgets everything else. That's his problem. And
Yes.
he might lose his he might cost himself the tournament because of that.
Oh, yeah, I gotta ask you about that. Goku almost got ringed out. What are your thoughts on that? Because a lot of people have mixed opinions on that.
Well, he's Goku, so he as it was talked about in the actual episode, um, he is gonna let his guard down. So in doing so, I don't expect him. I expect him to have moments of being disheveled and his hair's all over the place, so on and so forth. Yeah, it's part of the gig.
They did say that in the next episode. Look, I thought got dry from it. So they say that we're gonna take out, I think, the rest of Universe 9 the next episode.
I thought it was the other way. I thought everybody was gunning for Universe 7.
No, I think because I think in the next episode, I think in the preview for the next episode, they said that Goku and Vegeta are gonna be dealing with the rest of Universe 9. It was either Universe 9 or Universe 10. I
Nah,
forgot
I
what it
didn't
was.
see. I saw the preview without the subs, so yeah, I wouldn't know what it said.
Yeah.
So that's on me.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Oh yeah, the lady 18 was fighting. I think she's from the Pride Troopers. That was an interesting clash, I guess. Cause he just randomly ran into her. But yeah,
So yeah,
I guess with
unfortunately,
Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, with the episodes, I give episode 96 a 7 out of 10, and episode 97 a 6 out of 10.
96, I'd say it was about a 6. 97, I'd say it's about a 7.
Huh? Let's see, look, our things were reversed. All
Well,
right, okay.
unfortunately, I
That's
actually do. I have to go at this point, unfortunately, Anthony. So
just wait,
we
but
can
just before you go, just quickly,
sure.
just thoughts on the Hunter x Hunter chapter, and what would you rate it if you remember it? I know, it's very texty and it's very hard to remember at times.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the explanation for what the powers can and can't do, how the princes get their powers, and what they reflect. So from what we understand, and Carrie brought this up to me, he wouldn't be surprised if Sundareech and Hisoka were best buddies, and I kind of
Really?
agree with that. Right, because in terms of their demeanor, their bloodlust is about the same. Because remember, Sundareech, uh, when we first met him, was killing girls just outright. So their bloodlust is from different sources, but I would argue that's about the same.
That's interesting. I never even thought about that. Now I gotta reread the chapter again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Nen Beast though, because everyone got hyped about that stuff. I think it showed all the Princess Nen Beasts because they're
Right.
about to they're about to start putting work.
Right. So I already know that Benjamin and Cindereach are probably going to be the top two. You remember
All right.
Benjamin's the one that crushed the lion? Do you remember that?
I don't know.
So he's the one that looks very, very muscular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Benjamin. So him
Yeah.
and Cindereach are probably the two strongest. Period.
Probably.
So everybody else, they're sort of just taking up space at this point.
Oh yeah, was Paris in this chapter or no?
No, I didn't. Parison wasn't in here. He might have been mentioned, but he wasn't in there.
Yeah, I think I feel like his name got. I feel like he got name dropped somewhere. It was either this chapter or last chapter.
Yeah, it's probably the previous chapter.
So that means he might be popping up soon. I think this Prince stuff is starting to get really interesting now.
So what Drago did, and I think I'll probably have to do it. You got to reread from where it sort of just really starts popping off, which is like post Chimera Ant arc and upwards, and certain things become much more clear.
Oh, the election arc. Yeah, I gotta rewatch that.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah.
So
So
I
what would you rate
must
the chapter?
depart.
Because I give it a 7 out of 10. How about you?
Based off of the chapter, I have to admit the very end of that chapter, I have to give that about 7 or 8 because it was the realization of the person that you're dealing with. You can't escape. You have to do it because it's either you're gonna die anyway. So might as well.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we can agree that the chapters and episodes this past week or two was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the super episodes, I taper my expectations because I know they're going to get better, so I can't overrate these episodes. I need to save my 8s and 9s and 10s. You know what I
That's what
mean?
I'm doing though. That's what I'm doing though. Because the thing is that once the fodder is cleared, that's when it's starting to start getting good.
Right. That's you're gonna have like 3 straight 10s in a row. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's when that it's gonna be fired. That's when all the people that matter is gonna be on the table.
Exactly. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Appreciate that, bro.
See, that's why I don't like, and I might end it with this. This is why I don't like throwing out like tens and stuff like for just regular hype stuff. Because I could be going completely fanboying of Hunter x Hunter right now. It's like, yeah, because it's one of my favorite series. 10 out of 10. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I could do that. Heck, I could have done that with the Frieza episodes. I'm not gonna do that. I
You
could
got
have done that.
respect for yourself at least in that regard.
I'm not gonna do. I'm just not gonna throw tens. I'm like even like let's say the Vince will do some hype. I'm not just gonna throw a 10 out there just because of that.
I
No.
might give them a 7 because they finally did something more than just stand there and take up air space.
Like that's like me giving the Bleach chapter where Ichigo finally did like a Grammar and Zero 10 out of 10 just because he did it. No, you need more than that. Or
Right.
Saitama like punching like a galaxy or something. No, like you gotta have a little more than that. You
Yeah.
save the tens for those special moments that are just like
They're ridiculous. You didn't even know how to process them.
yes, when King Lightning does the yo, that's when the tens come out, and that's
For
how I'm
sure.
ending it.
For sure. Thank you
Oh,
for having me again.
yep.
Another night. I really appreciate this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I just have limits here. Otherwise, I'd stay on. But you know,
Well, it's cool though because we was able to do it today. So
yes, for sure. And it helps that I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
oh yeah,
So that
Brady. That's why Brady's not on here because he had to work tomorrow.
right.
I'm surprised people got to work on. Is it because it's like in the middle of the week that people got to work on Independence Day?
Um, I also think it's some people just choose to work as well.
Mm.
So it's a combination because you get that holiday, you get that comp day. Depending on where you're at, you can get a compensation day, or you can get extra pay for working on the holiday. So it's actually in your best interest to actually show up sometimes.
This is how I would put it. Unless I am working on the radio as a DJ or some type of spokesperson, or maybe on the TV doing something similar to that, I am not working on the holiday. I am sitting my butt. But I do want to put out my top strongest video on sometime after 3 a.m. Cause I'm almost
Tonight,
finished with yeah.
I
So I
so
can have a video out for Independence Day.
right, and remember, as I said, you can see if you can do some live, you can do some reactions to the list.
How about a discussion video?
Yeah, sure, we could do discussion video.
Yeah, all right. So the top list of video I'm doing is for Bleach. I'm also
Ah,
throwing some comedy in there. I just because I don't know, I just think it's funny. Some of the stuff I'm going to be putting like in the text, like describing like what the power of the character is or why they're that strong.
I hear you.
Plus, it kind of differentiates me from some other people. But yeah, that's how I'm doing it. So anyway, thanks for coming. Happy July 4th Independence Day week.
Yeah. As long as I make it through it, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tell Carrie I said hi.
Sure enough, you and
Uh
your family stay safe.
yeah.
Make sure whoever's the grill master, tell them to make sure that they don't overdo it with the charcoal.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah. Make sure you keep up with I guess with Brago, King Lightning, and Tekken's like live streams and stuff, especially when they start doing like the One Piece of Hunter x Hunter stuff.
now, I right now, King of Lightning is kind of hard for me, but Brago is cool, and I mess with Grim. Those are the people I really frequent right now, and Matt B. Those are the people.
Matt B. Yes, Matt B. Yo, you got you. I will send you a link whenever his streams come on, but he just does them randomly. But you gotta check out his streams though.
No, I have. I have. I kind of I feel it. I feel him. So I ain't gonna front. I like his style.
He actually used to be in a collab group called the Supernovas.
Yo, quick question. You know what Discord is?
Um, it's like a chat room kind of.
All right.
Um, I just just get a Discord. Like, well, next time Brago is doing a stream, just click on the link, and you can just set up your Discord there, and then just be on it.
All right.
Oh
I
yeah, by
have.
the way, check out Outer Haven's live streams too, because he's associated with Brago. I think he was on some of Brago streams and vice versa. He was actually in the chat last week.
I hear you.
He does some good streams too. He does it like after usually between the hours of 5 to 7 on Thursdays after the chapters come out.
I hear you.
So check that out too. As I said, Tekken 101, Geekdom 101 for like Dragon Ball stuff.
I'm down. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for allowing me to come on and be a part of your stream as always. It is a great honor.
Yeah. Rate, comment, subscribe, everyone, and we will see you later. And have a good night and have a good week/weekend.
Peace.